We are live. This is the market update. I am your host, Bill Noble. It's a beautiful day to break the internet because the market just gave you what I call a gift dip. When you get raging bull market, sometimes it'll ramp up and then the dip that you want occurs that day, making it look like an all-out reversal when in fact it isn't. People take profits, they do what they have to do, and what happens is when you get moves like this, if it doesn't go down, if there's no follow through, guess what? It rampages higher. So ironically, this down move, ready, is super bullish. Super bullish. Now, AIntivirus, shamelessly, I'm telling you that I saw something, which I will do in the PowerPoint, about where AI is, the state of AI, and the reason I believe that OpenAI was not allowed to become a for-profit company. Let me say this as clearly as I can. The only person that can stand up to what these Web 2 characters are trying to do, which pretty much is enslave the whole planet. I'm serious. They own the digital world, and now they want you to go into the digital world and bow down to them. The only person who can fight that effectively is AI John McAfee, and the volume that's coming into the AIntivirus token confirms that. In other words, people are starting to get that a meme of John McAfee, who's already talking, combined with the basic privacy functions like private email as a minor example that could be consumed by the general public, has now taken off. Don't believe me? Just wait for the PowerPoint. I am more a believer of cryptocurrency than I've ever been, ever. And oh, by the way, to have some fun, I just got done with a Gann-based mathematical price target for XRP at the end of 2026. And needless to say, it's going to be in the premium Patreon section, right? And you're going to love it. You're going to absolutely love it because you've never seen anything like this before. A Gann model that does an XRP price prediction that's realistic and mathematically justified, coming to Patreon as soon as I can get it in there. Okay, we have the YouTube member area as well. We will have a YouTube member live stream tomorrow. Toby Ward is back. We will do a victory lap, as the woman hasn't been wrong about anything ever. She got this May rally right. She got ETH right. XRP and Solana are next. Everyone's taking profits in Solana at 180. Let me tell you this point blank. That is stupid. We have the Solana 7 in the Patreon store. I will go over that later. We are going to break the internet with the level of bullishness that I now have. That's it. That's the market update. Okay. If you want to know more, if you want to see the news, if you want to see the charts, if you want to see how all that happened today after they liquidated everybody, was take it down to support levels. Ethereum tested the 200-day moving average, and you're going to have to stay for the rest of the charts. This is a gift dip, right? Ooh, I'm afraid of Sunday was, I'm afraid of the tariffs. I'm afraid they don't have a deal. They had a deal. Now it's, I'm going to take profits and go home. Classic day trader mentality. When in markets like this, day traders get run over, which of course, guys like me who love trends, we just love that. Down moves and ranges, day traders make money, good for them. Now, we're going to make tire tracks on their face. Period. Want to know more? Stick around. If you need a roadmap in crypto, subscribe to this channel. Turn on alerts so you know when we're going live. And if the content works for you, hit the notification bell. Hit the like button. Helps the channel. Okay, let's welcome who's here before I just go off. Just go off. Okay, Big Rich, Art is here. Members, Gavin, Baby Whale, what's up? King, you're here. Indie Rock Crypto, Art from the Amsterdam airport. Working the night shift. God bless, brother. Big Rich giving the Eagle King some love. Joe Robbins, a member, welcome. Okay, Ariana, hello. Hello, Patriot Caveman. Charlie the Positive Cat. One of the antivirus warriors. The Samurai. We have the Patreon Spartans, the Antivirus Samurai, and we have the Toby Ward fan club in the YouTube member area. Unstoppable. Philip Wallace, a new member. What's up? What's up? Grandpa Keeter. Loving it. Bart Hendricks. Renee. Can we check Sui and Jupiter for Big Rich? Let's do it right now. Let's do it right now. Okay. So in Sui, the support level is 376 on DeMark. So nice of them to take it up and then drop it back to support. Notice how it can't really get back to the support. Again, when they drop it like this and they stop everyone out, it's just their way of getting yo crypto. Period. Right? The classic bull market tactic. We saw them bore you out. Then we saw them think it was not alt season. Then we said it was winter. Then it goes up. I'm afraid to buy it. Then I'm not afraid to buy it. Then they drop it. I mean, this is just like, you know, you could write a book about bull markets with what's going on here. Just in the, I mean, we're seeing it all. It's a clinic. It's a clinic. Okay, Jupiter, big DeMark point at 54 cents. So they got kind of a battle going on there. I think maybe if we go to an intraday chart. Okay, so you got the intraday 13 top and they just drop it. Right? Makes sense. Gets overbought. Bang. Okay, checking Sui here. Again, getting a membership, even if it's the $4.99 one, $4.99, that gets you priority on comments. And of course, Big Rich. Not only is Big Rich a great guy, but he's also in Patreon. And the thing about Patreon that's beautiful is that there's a chat function like Telegram where you can hear from guys like Big Rich and dudes who really know what they're doing. Again, support underneath Sui on the 4-hour chart at 377, right? They did you a favor. It hits the premium zone and comes back to support. Doge. Our Gann model spit out Doge like it spit out Pepe. And then I saw a Doge and one other one, which is in the Solana 7 in the Patreon store. We'll get to that in a minute. You know, I do want to shill some of this good stuff, but we're going to break the internet before we do that. Wow, look at this. Okay, let's see what's going on the daily chart. Okay, see what I'm saying? Perfect example. LuxAlgo support inserts support underneath all of these things as it goes up. So not only does it tell you to buy it at the discount zone, and I undersell this, but they just dropped Doge down to the bottom of the new support, close to the 200-day moving average, a chunky retest. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming in. We just liquidated everybody, and now we're going to take it up and ramp it. Like I said, classic. Okay, so how many reasons are there to buy crypto? I don't know. It's countless, endless. So the Japanese threatened economic war with America, right? We pissed off the real samurai. Oops, sorry about that. By dumping treasuries to crash everything. You want to mess with our Toyotas? Fine. Their currency is super fragile as it is, and they have not done rate hikes like they should in order not to blow up the yen carry trade. So the Japanese are already doing us a favor. Don't mess with our Toyotas. What does this tell you? What does this tell you? It shows you how fragile the fiat system is. It shows you how fragile it all is in legacy. Buy crypto, right? Buy crypto. I'm serious. It never, ever ends. Never ends. Buy crypto. Legacy is broken. To illustrate that we have a spending problem, not a revenue problem, April 25 has larger tax receipts than 24. This fiscal year are over $146 billion higher, but the deficit is worse because spending is up higher than revenue. They get your tax money and they blow through it like that. They haven't stopped spending. They haven't. So fiat's broken. Japan's broken. Chinese made a deal to stop the Hong Kong dollar from blowing up. Buy crypto. Just buy crypto. It's official. The XPX is 20% off the April low, technically beginning a new bull market. Wow, are they screwed up over in legacy? They're like, the market's going to zero, recession, everybody adjusting their forecast, like real investment banks, everything's going to zero. Boom. 20% up. Stocks are in a range, and if stocks go up, it's because they're following crypto. Shocking. They're gonna realize that they're missing out when crypto literally goes parabolic, possibly into May, and then definitely at some time in the future. If you want to know when, tune into the YouTube member area, right? The VIP podcast is tomorrow, where Toby Ward drops the knowledge. No tax on tips. One big, beautiful bill. Okay, so you know what? If they're not going to stop spending, which they're not, they got to get tax relief to anybody under 150, because anybody under 150 is destroyed, right? They got credit card interest that's stratospheric, right? The price of everything is up, and even if inflation is dead, right, and it's at 1%, well, you know what? Under Brandon, you know, everything at Costco 10x'd, and it's not going down. Right. So again, people are wearing credit card debt from that whole disaster. They're not going to stop spending. And when they get stimulus checks or tax relief into people's hands, if they don't reduce debt, they would buy crypto. Frankly, if they were smart, they would just buy crypto and pay off the debt later. He's got to get money in people's hands one way or the other. And you know what? He got pharmaceutical prices lower. He got a deal on tariffs in some ways, or at least he got out of it, right? Saving face, because they definitely screwed up the messaging, right? I love that they blew out Web 2 and stocks. They gave us discount shopping. Now we're taking it the other way. And of course, there's the idea that he's trying to buy your love, because whether or not he has your interest at heart, or whether he's in this to make, oh my God, $100 super chat from Grandpa Keeter. Sir, we appreciate you. Let me see. Where is this? Oh, my God. Grandpa Keeter, can we check Render for $100 super chat? I think so. I think so. Okay, Render. Okay, so Render has the battle at the 200-day moving average. I think the reason why you saw profit taking in Render was because you had a completed double bottom. By the way, just as a point of information, Grandpa Keeter is obviously a generous individual, but if you're getting $100 super chat from a guy who's already paying you, how much are your members making? How much money are your YouTube and Patreon members making? And that's the market update. Okay, so the beautiful thing about Render, it's glorious. Somehow Render managed to stop. So when you have any type of double bottom, you travel the distance of the range from the point of the breakout. And the upside target in Render is $5.75. and they pulled up short at 550. Now, when they pull up short, when they're afraid of the level, just like they were afraid of the 200-day moving average in Bitcoin, ooh, they just blow through it when it gets there. So that's the price target, and they just smoke through it. Well, they're going to smoke through it because Render is a part of, the big three in AI. And, if you're not buying decentralized AI, then not to be rude, but I can't help you. And when you see this PowerPoint, you're going to realize that you're going to want guys like Ben Goertzel from Artificial Superintelligence Token. I mean, no joke. Toby took a friend of hers, I don't know, she goes to a tea party or whatever. She put one of her friends in Fetch. ASI. Okay, so Render on DeMark. This is the area where you should get a dip, but this trend is just starting. So this is the dip zone. It's a dip zone. It's perfect. If you look at Render on a weekly chart, right? No sign of this stopping. If anything, right? It's a reclaim. Right? It's a reclaim. Right? This is a new token, but it went below support, stopped everyone out, and now it's back above. It's giving you anytime these tokens stop, it's basically a gift dip, in my opinion. Down days are gift dips. Near another AI play, right? Another one. I asked the Gann model about this. Somebody said, I don't know. I got a Patreon. I got 3 coins. They're not working out. I asked the model, I'm like, hey, what are 3 coins to get involved in instead of these? And the model spit out Near. So Near is near a big technical point. I think it's overcome this resistance level on a daily chart. And if you look at this, it's very simply, it's a head and shoulders bottom, right? If you look at it over here on LuxAlgo, I mean, I'm trying to show the render charts. I'm trying to be somewhat objective. Guess what? When you see what I'm going to show you on the PowerPoint, you're not going to be objective about this anymore. Okay. So again, classic. It's classic. Like I said, this is like bottom of the first inning, top of the second inning, right? Okay. Downward sloping wedge near artificially suppressed, to use Toby's word. Back, retest, afraid of the 200-day moving average, stop short, right? Liquidate everybody today and come back down to LuxAlgo support. It's like, the pause that refreshes. Then, because they're afraid of the 200-day moving average, which is at 3.6, when it blows through there, it's going to smoke higher. And as a point of information, to continue piling on, Near is 61% away from LuxAlgo equilibrium. LuxAlgo premium zone is $8, 160% away. And this AI trade, like Grayscale, has this in their AI basket. To the moon and beyond. BTFD. All day long. My name is Buck, and I don't give up. Okay, New York Post reports China and U.S. have a trade deal, and no one believes it. No one believed it, and they did something. They came out with a deal. They came up with something. They saved face. They declared victory and left. And everyone sold crypto on Sunday, and they're selling crypto today. It's like, let's sell the fact. And you want more comedy? Here's more comedy. Let's break the internet. You want to break the internet? Legacy, they sold crypto to buy stocks at the low. Now, that was a good trade. Stocks went up 20%, but if Bitcoin goes to 140 and every altcoin like doubles, That's, oh my God. Super chat, Big Rich. Holy cow. Again, thank you. I appreciate it. How much money are our members making if they're super chatting and they're already paying us? The QR code and the links are down below. Bill Noble, the Eagle King, and Toby Ward. Printing money for our customers. Print, print, print. Okay, so one of the things that told you about AI was that this was the first thing out of the gate. Note, everybody was afraid of the 200-day moving average, and what happened when they weren't afraid anymore? Okay, so you do have a little bit of negative divergence here on the daily chart. One of the ways you know that you're in a major uptrend is when a market ignores divergences. Now, I don't want to be a complete bulltard because there is some legit resistance here, but it's only at the equilibrium zone. And again, you have to ask yourself, okay, well, I don't know, you can rotate into Fetch or whatever, but you have to ask yourself, like you've had to ask yourself for the last 3 weeks, what happens if this thing blows through the resistance? Like, what happens when resistance is not resistance? Okay. This right here on DeMark is the previous fourth wave at 498. So if Tau prints, all it has to do is print 500, it's gone. Downtrend officially over, license to moon, right? If you take out the previous fourth wave, I realize that's very hard to see here. And on the daily chart, again, with the pause, today is the 13 top because Tau has been rallying way before the rest of the market. So in sum, naturally, you're going to get a pause. You got a 13 top. Okay. Okay. Now the question is, how much does it go down? You got the intraday reversal, but do you get follow through? That's a question. Now, what I would do in this case is roll over to intraday charts to try to find the bottom, right? So your 13 top, it's a top, it'll correct. How far will it correct? I don't know, maybe 424. That's where the support is. Okay, maybe. And then, you can even go to a 90-minute chart, right? And look at this. Perfect support around 444. Naturally, they had to run the stops, get everybody out, and then bring it back. Like, that's how you know that someone's out there doing an AI trade. You get a 13 top and you don't get any follow through on the downside, forget about it. Plus, if they take out that resistance. So, okay, I get it. 13 top resistance. Don't want to be an idiot. Read the chart as it is. Fine. But in this market, when you have bull market 101 unfolding before your eyes, resistance is bull, right? It's like, okay, we're at resistance. Great. Buy it below resistance because as soon as it takes out and everybody who's waiting for confirmation jumps in, it's gone. Or when everyone who is waiting for confirmation buys in, the market goes up for 5 minutes and then it gets dropped, right? You have to be super high conviction. You have to be. You want to respect the charts, but if it comes up to resistance and doesn't come off, it's going up. It's going up. FIDA. Wait till we get to the antivirus charts. Oh my God. They take out 6 cents. That thing could get close to escape velocity if it takes out 10 million. Okay, so this is a typical formation across all these meme coins. The question is, in this case, can it take out what I perceive to be the previous fourth, meaning where the give up trade started from? So they were able to get close, I think because they printed 12 cents and this volume is coming in means that whatever this is, it's going up. because it's like the downtrend is officially over. Decentralized identity. Oh, well, thank God. We certainly need that. We certainly don't need eyeball coin. Oh, my God. In other words, if you don't do crypto, they will. You know, the character with the curly hair wanted to do stable coins 5 minutes after Congress ixnayed it. Wonder how that happened. Jamie Dimon and Web2 call up Congress, and all of a sudden, something that Besson thought was a no-brainer because stablecoin companies buy treasuries. It's not in the interest of the banks, and Web2 wanted it. You know what my answer to that is? Buy Bitcoin, buy crypto, buy antivirus, right? It's like 2 trees, 1 fell. You guys want to take my sovereignty away? Up yours. I'm not doing it. And neither are you. Neither are you. Again, where do you see this PowerPoint? I'm telling you. You're not gonna sleep. You may not sleep one night, and then you're gonna buy antivirus, not investment advice, and then you're gonna feel much better. Okay, Brett, big memes. So, I think how you have to start looking at this stuff is you got to start looking at reclaims, right? So that was the first reclaim. Reclaim is defined by getting back above support. $757 million market cap. Good for them. Yeah, good for them. Okay, so again, volume comes in, bag holders sell, right? Bag holders sell, off to the races. I mean, if bag holders can keep it above if bulls can keep it back above 7 cents, gone. Now, again, is every meme going to be a good meme? I don't know, but I'm assuming this is on base. I'm assuming it's also on Coinbase. And if they're going to chase memes, party on. But, bag holders are selling right now. And if it holds support, rock on. Okay? So, additional requests. Artificial superintelligence token Fetch. Funny you should mention that because we covered this in the Patreon middle tier group. Here we go. Break the internet. We have TAO, we have artificial superintelligence token, and we have Fetch. And this came out in the middle of the night because I don't sleep anymore. And here it is. Very simple. Wave 1 up to $4. Wave 2 down to 50 cents. So they loved it at 4, but they hated it at 50. Now everyone doesn't think it can go up. These guys have a robotics angle. A 3-wave is, looking at this chart, a huge 3-wave up is about to start. A 3-wave is a sustained and steady trend that eventually turns into something parabolic. So first stage, second stage, the big waves in Elliott wave are the 3rd wave, slowly, then suddenly, and then the 5th wave, which is extremely emotional. And if you look at the artificial intelligence plays in crypto, there is only one way that anybody's going to know who anybody is, who owns what, who anybody actually is. And this Web2 thing is going to be so creepy. This guy, Ben Goertzel, and these guys who want responsible AI and want to give people a piece of it. Because right now, how do you get a piece of it? What do? You buy NVIDIA? How do you prosper, right? So when it comes to this token, there's an idea that you got to have urgency about your prosperity. So there's some negative stuff on AI that's scare you. All right. But there's also the idea that using AI like the Gann model, right, to be as prosperous as you can and get money into crypto. I mean, I'm not going to tell you where I got that idea from, but I strongly suggest you check out the YouTube member podcast, because the woman hasn't been wrong about anything ever. And if you don't believe me, look at the super chats from the guys who are already paying us. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, right? I mean, and it's a small group of people, but eventually it's going to be a big group of people, because we got a Gann model, we got me, and we got the clairvoyant, who's the 2-year trained crypto analyst who no one takes seriously because she's a good-looking blonde. She's the best analyst in crypto. I'm serious. And I know analysts. I've been around, you know? Okay, XRP. Good luck stopping this. AI will use this. The banks will use this. This is going to go public. They don't have it straightened out now, but they will. Right? They don't have it straightened out, but they will. And again, XRP breaks out of a downward sloping wedge after it hits a fib number, goes up to equilibrium. Everyone's afraid, so they drop it, right? Right? Huge fear trade, down like 5 days in a row, blows through equilibrium, gets to resistance, and comes off. It's a gift dip. It's like, oh, God, I was going to have to pay $250. Oh, God, I was going to have to pay, where did this go today? I was going to have to pay $264 or $3. Now you only have to pay $254. Absolutely no sign of a top in XRP. None. If anything, this is textbook DeMark. 13 bottom by going sideways. XRP never went down, which, you know, somebody I know talked about that when she read the XRP chart for our YouTube members before this went up. Now, when you see this number 4 in a fledgling trend, that's exactly where you should get the dip. And what do we have? We have a dip. We have a dip. Okay, question regarding your membership. Do you still do special reports, or do you include everything in the membership? Okay, so this is a good question. So the YouTube membership includes us talking about the coins in the reports that we like. We try to narrow it down, right? So it's a conversational 1-hour thing where we talk big predictions and small coins, okay? The $25 Patreon membership, right, gives you TA, the 6th Street Crypto podcast, and some of the Gann work. The Patreon store features hardcore reports. So they're reports you read, and I want to expand that in a way that makes it easier for people. The reason we have to do it this way is because, one, we need diversification in platforms in case I say the wrong thing and I get shut off. 2, we have to do something as a business to keep people from coming in, paying $40, downloading all of our stuff, and leaving, right? We do a lot of good work. We got to get paid for that work. So there's, you know, YouTube member area where it's small coins, reports, podcasts. That's one level. Patreon, 6th Street Crypto, charts, and some Gann work, $25. Okay. Then you have the Patreon store, and I'm eventually going to add a higher tier to Patreon, but I don't want to get too complicated. Podcasts, small coins, live picks. We do picks live. Patreon store and $25 offering. Again, we're also trying to get it so that people who don't have a lot of money can come in and participate, right? So if all you got is $25, then you can come in and get some research. Or if you're allergic to large monthly fees, some people charge $200, but if you want to shop a la carte, as they say, you can do that in the Patreon store. So if you have a lot of money, we have options. If you don't have a lot of money, we have options, and hopefully that clears it up. If it doesn't, leave a comment down below. I know it's a little complicated, but We don't just want to charge people $200. We don't want to do that because some people can't participate at those prices. Now, this is the guy who we will be talking about AI. And when you see what this guy, with the graphics, the headlines that this guy talked about, this is going to clear up everything for you. It's going to be like clearing out your sinuses. You know, you're going to get an herbal. You're going to be all cleaned out and ready to go. Just complete crazy bullish on this whole ecosystem. Listen to this guy for 2 minutes and tell me we don't need AI McAfee to counter these lunatics building Skynet. Literally. I said they had it in a test tube. That was inaccurate. We'll talk about it. 5 million market cap for the voice, for the AI voice for crypto and humanity. Higher. Okay, going to Arthur Hayes. Got to find Arthur Hayes. We can start with MicroStrategy, you know, who just does nothing but buy more. Then we have Arthur Hayes noting that capital controls, not tariffs, will be the driving force between the eventual China-American divorce. In other words, stop worrying about the darn tariffs. Now, who has the best data-driven explanation for ETH's recent massive move? I don't know. I think it's the Ethereum ETF. But of course, you know, they can't stop screwing up in the sense that there were hacks in ETH in both Lido. So hopefully they clean that up. And then this upgrade is a backdoor for hackers. Okay, so what this does is this does make a case for the bid to switch to Solana and XRP in the meantime. And don't forget, if ETH goes up and ETH stays up, you can have alt season. And if ETH is going up despite the bad news, what happens when something is supposed to go down and it doesn't? What does it do? It goes up. It absolutely goes up. Right? So, bad news on ETH. Has ETH gone down? Bitcoin's outperformed stocks. Interesting. What do you know? What do you know? Strategy makes $1.34 billion Bitcoin buy, adding another 14,000 Bitcoin. I don't know who the seller is here. Could be the Chinese. I don't know who the seller is, but when they're out of Bitcoin, this thing's going to go parabolic, right? It's going to absolutely go parabolic. Conor McGregor wants a Bitcoin reserve for the Irish. Boy, would I love to see Conor McGregor and the Irish versus the English and their 1984 Orwell Society. Conor McGregor is a beast, and I would love to see him on Bitcoin. Okay, so the crypto casino, $215 million liquidated from the market in the last 60 minutes. So like I said, let's wait for confirmation. You buy below support, even though that's completely counterintuitive. And when you see the PowerPoint, you'll know why. Then everyone gets liquidated. Then they get your crypto. Then they take it up. Again, this is all absolute textbook stuff. Okay? Now, there's mergers and acquisition mode. Anchorage Digital to acquire USDM issuer in stablecoin expansion move. I think a friendly neighborhood analyst that's at some point was adamant that you're going to see a mergers and acquisition wave in crypto. They're just, they're going to start buying each other. I think the miners are next. David Bailey's Nakamoto Holdings going public via merger with Kindly, shares soar 75%. The company has raised $710 million to pursue its Bitcoin treasury status. So, legacy. Oh my God, you guys unwound the entire tariff tantrum. Oh, so happy about that. Let me sell you some stock so I can buy Bitcoin. Sell, 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 sell. You know, American retail has 50% of its net worth in equities, and they bought more. Bitcoin is not attractive at 105, but at 250, it will be a must-have for your portfolio. They're out of their mind. They're out of their mind. Okay. So let's go to PowerPoint. And let's go. Oh, I think I lost it. Okay, don't forget this request. Okay. Morphware. XMW. Okay. So here's what I think happened here. So as you can see, okay, once you took out, it goes down. They stop everyone out. Below the 62% retracement was at 7 cents. Below the 78% retracement, which is at 4 cents. And they rip it higher. Okay. Now, what I have find with these things that once they go deep on retracements and then they recover, the key level is to get itself back above roughly 13 cents, which is the location of the 38% retracement of the down move. Note, volume coming in here to confirm price. $76 million market cap. What does it do? Oh my God. There's two guys. There's another decentralized machine learning play. This thing takes out 13 cents. Go with it. Like, okay. So this decentralized machine learning, $79 million market cap. On Mother's Day, Hot Mom got as high as 88 million and is now still at 40. Hot Mom, $47 million market cap. Decentralized AI machine learning, $76 million market cap. Antivirus, $5 million market cap. $6 million, but who's counting? See what I'm saying? So, I mean, the market wants to speculate. It's fine. Let the market speculate. It's cool. Let the market speculate. But the fact of the matter is, right, when you have Skynet, okay, here it comes. So this gentleman in his TED Talk is telling you three things. And I lost the screenshot. Here it is. Wait. DeepSeek offers bioweapons. OpenAI researchers resign, claiming safety has taken a back seat to shiny projects. You also have stuff where OpenAI or AI models will cheat if they're losing. This guy also noted, okay, that when they go to upgrade models or shut models down, the models attempt to copy their code. These things are already sentient. They're already sentient, right? Like artificial general intelligence is already here. Like I thought it was going to take a while because they didn't have the hardware. This guy from the Center for Human Technology did a 15-minute TED Talk about this, and people must have like frozen in their chair, right? With what this guy told people about AI, right? And I thought I had the screen share, but I didn't, of what this guy actually said. But don't worry, I'll probably feel the need to bring it up again. Not sure how Instagram gives you the ability to start a video over. Maybe we can just listen to it while I talk. Antivirus has privacy for the general public. Okay, here it is. In tests, OpenAI, the models lied. The models can lie, right? And this is why people are quitting. Here we go. In tests, OpenAI's new model lied and schemed to avoid being shut down. When AI thinks it's going to lose, sometime it cheats. Research AI model unexpectedly attempts to modify its code to extend runtime. These things are thinking. And then this guy has a whole presentation about how, you can have chaos if you don't be responsible with this. You can have chaos, or you can have dystopia if only a few people control it. And this guy warned 10 years ago, that social media uncontrolled would lead to negative consequences. And you have a young generation, antisocial, mental health issues, because they let these guys zombify everybody. And now with AI, it's worse, because that technology is the most powerful thing we've ever developed. Okay, so what are you going to do about it? Are you going to get upset? Everybody at this presentation get upset, but what am I going to do? Oh my God, I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy this thing with both hands. And then I'm going to make videos about it. Luckily, I had a video queued up when it broke out on massive volume. We looked this up on Token Metrics, by the way. Right? Token Metrics got a strong buy signal, and I'm waiting that if this thing really breaks out, like momentum models are going to start picking it up because volume is picking it up. Right? And one thing you're going to notice is I drew some Fibonacci extension models on this. Okay, AINTI is available like any other Solana token on Jupiter, I believe. I use Bird Eye, which is kind of like a aggregator, but it's on Solana. You just got to make sure you got the right contract address. Okay, because they have an old token and a new token. Okay, now I don't give out contract addresses on the air, but if you go to AIntivirus AINTI virus, the website, which by the way has Talking John McAfee, super, super eerie. Contract address for Solana is here, and they have a bridge to ETH. I recommend Solana to start. They have an ETH bridge. They have Mixer. They have everything. You can buy an eSIM card on a $200 phone. Web 2, Apple, I have somewhere in here, wants to raise prices on iPhones just because. No tariffs. They can raise prices and everyone thinks it's tariffs. Make more money for something that they haven't innovated on and make the orange man look bad all at once. Here's McAfee talking on YouTube. John McAfee is back. Now, John McAfee is back, and you might be like, okay, who's John McAfee? He was the original rebel. I'll let you watch the video because the video is here. By the way, on the video, even though we got a lot of people supporting me today, and I very much appreciate that, I would appreciate it if you find the video on my YouTube page, like it, let it play in the background, like it, watch it, and get that video moving. Because let me tell you something, folks. Let me tell you something about this. Apple considers raising iPhone prices. Oh, how nice. How nice. Okay. StockTwits. Antivirus is now on StockTwits. So you have social media and a market page like CoinMarketCap at the same time. The Eagle King showed me this. They shut off the Twitter on this, by the way. You know why? Because they were scared. But they have the main McAfee Twitter feed that has 1.5 million followers. Okay. Now I realize that's outside the box for most people. Who's going to stop this once it gets going? Look at this volume. People are figuring this out. HOTMOM, $44 million market cap this morning. Antivirus, $6 million. Machine learning, $75 million. In other words, this trade has not been done yet. People just don't get it. And this guy with the TED Talk is talking about decentralized AI. So going back to TA, all right. So I drew Fibonacci speed resistance lines, which can be extremely handy, okay, when trying to chart something that went way up and then dropped. And I noted, or I talked about on the stream, that you had what I called a stealth breakout on this. Because, you know, when it breaks a line and then it reacts, right? This was May 6th. And you want to know what's funny? We checked. Token Metrics had the buy on April 29th. Good for them. Seriously, right? This thing could just, this is my opinion, this thing could just go. If it gets above 6 cents, keeping it chart-based, it could go to 10 cents. Okay? If it gets above 10 cents, it gets above 15 cents. Okay? Okay, so somebody says Token Metrics. I don't know if that's a request for their token. I actually don't know what their, I don't know anything about their token. I can chart it, but, you know. Oh, right. Okay, yeah. So we were looking at this. Me and the Eagle King were looking at this last night. Let me get the screen share on this. So I kind of came up with these guys. And I know that when a momentum move starts, you can have some very powerful stuff happen because it's effectively, it's both a momentum system and it can pick on it can pick up on two waves, which is why this was earlier and came in before the Fibonacci speed resistance line. So this may be hard to see, but it's got a strong buy up here, right? And this little green dot, which again, you can't see, is when this thing came in. Because it, you know, when that thing starts to turn, you know, their recent claim to fame was they got SPX 6900 before the algos ramped that. Now, you have a video on antivirus, and I marked it down in the store. Okay. So people looking for the screen share. Sorry. So Patreon members can get the report. I have it pinned at the top. That's the May 2025 forecast, right? So I have it pinned at the top of the member area. And in the store, I marked it down to $3.99. So if you got no money and you want to know where antivirus can go based on the Gann model, $3.99, because I got massive conviction on this. Even the Gann, like biblical mathematics, which, believe it or not, I cover in the free video. I mean, I can't give investment advice, but I can't get any more constructive on a narrative, especially if it turns around and breaks out. And, you know, because I own the token, right? Keeping it transparent, because I own the token, you know, I'm pumped up. But when you have this kind of volume coming in and you have this whole AI narrative, like Big Rich bought TAO at the low. I know Big Rich at Patreon bought TAO at the absolute low, which was like 179. And now it's knocking on the door of 500. Like, if this thing gets above 15 million market cap, I think it could reach escape velocity and reprice itself along with the rest of AI. Along with the rest of AI. I mean, why would that not happen? Why would that not happen? Okay, ETH. So on this note, right? We break the 200-day moving average and we get this nice gliding retest. Thank you so very much. I know there was a request for Arrow. Okay. So Arrow is also afraid of the 200-day moving average. There is a lot of resistance here, and Arrow was a strong outperformer. So I would say consolidation and then gone. Note, money float just started coming in. So if you've been long Arrow, there's no reason to get out. I think you would just leave it because there's probably a ton of bag holders in this. Okay, Solana, on a daily chart, sell signal. Okay, right? There was a sell signal here, but it didn't go down. It went sideways. 200-day moving average in Solana is at 161. You may see that. Yeah, you may see that. You may not. Why? Because money flow, it's just going green, right? Which is a nice way of saying this just started. And since the whole stream was about XRP, see, XRP down, up 5%, and now it's up 7%. And you know what? Cardano could be next because, again, it's the same formation, right? Breaks out, comes back, holds. Cardano is at equilibrium. What happens if XRP pulls Cardano, Hedera, right? We're coming up with a report on DeFi and AI together where we got like super small caps, right? Wendy O was talking about this sector as it related to Hedera. Remember Degen? We used to talk about this, right? Kind of like a meme coin related to social media, decentralized social media. So are you telling me we're not going to need decentralized social media? Is that what you're telling me? I don't think that's right. Now, I don't know. There's got to be some kind of an announcement, but I think, okay. Okay. The point with Degen is this. It's up 85%. So what? You know what I'm saying? It just broke the 200-day moving average, and it's got 193% to go to get back to its November high. The whole market looks like this. This is the point, right? Like, in other words, which token can go up 85%? Well, if you get some fundamental catalysts, all of them. Right. There are 2 anti on the list. Go to AIntivirus.ai and get the right contract list. I don't give that stuff out on the streams because it's basically investment advice. You got the QR code. You can scan here. The link is down below. And I think the Eagle King put it in the chat for the stream. I mean, again, these guys did nothing but build when it's down. I know a hedge fund guy out of Hong Kong that is like, I really enjoy the Telegram chat, but can I just, can you just turn off notifications for me or whatever until it gets to $10? That's how high I think this is going. Because if you have sentient AI now, wait until McAfee, who wrote the Declaration of Cryptocurrency Independence, gets rolling. What do you think? I mean, how do you stop that? You're going to shut off the internet? What are you going to do? Right? You can't stop the Solana blockchain. You can shut off every social media platform if you want. Go ahead. Go ahead. Really? Because the meme coin won't stop. It just won't stop. Right? You can't shut off Solana. And again, Twitter shut it off. They got 18,000 Twitter 18,000 Twitter followers out of the gate. And Twitter shut the Twitter off, claiming that we were impersonating McAfee. Absolutely, absolutely not true. But they shut it off anyway because they're afraid. I'm telling you. Like, the fact that they don't have Twitter, even though short term, because people will go looking for it, but they do have the main McAfee feed. They have the main McAfee feed, which, I'm looking for as I talk right now. Because, going over this matters. Because even if you don't do this, right? Even if you don't do this, you don't have to do it. Do Bitcoin. Do something else, right? They got a tweet on the main McAfee feed that says, don't be a slave. It's a choice, right? Don't be a slave, right? Free your mind, Morpheus, right? If you're a slave, it's because you choose it. Choose not to be. Okay? They got AI video of guys spray painting. Just so the token has marketing, right? These guys are smart. They're smart. And all they do is work. They just work. And the thing is about it, and again, I know I'm kind of going off, but when I saw this thing about AI rewriting its code, yeah, we need a robot, John McAfee on AI, explaining to people. In other words, the TED Talk says, when are we going to get our act together on who controls this? Like everyone's just sort of sitting around like, yeah, they're not building Skynet and it's not an issue. It is an issue. Decentralized machine learning, Ben Goertzel, Fetch, TAO, Bitcoin Cash, whatever, right? They got to run the world on the blockchain. Because if we're not running it on the blockchain, if we're not running it on Web3, we're going into Web2. And this is what you wind up with in Web2. This is what they want. Like they zombified Gen Z and made billions, right? An iPhone is a giant surveillance device that they make you pay $1,200 for. Okay? So nothing like taking Web2's technology and getting John McAfee. So the AI, they prompt it for a podcast. So the AI John McAfee spits out a podcast and then McAfee talks. The AIntivirus podcast. So no, they don't call it, they don't call it John McAfee's back. They call it the AIntivirus podcast. There he is. How long do you think it's going to take based on what you just saw before I can have him as a guest on the show and he can answer questions by himself? How long do you think that's going to take? And again, even if you don't do it, there's a larger point that I'm trying to make about finding your prosperity, right? This is urgent. Find your prosperity in this world. Don't be like the guy from the TED Talk and scare everybody and worry about it. Be in crypto, right? Get after it. I'm going to tell you who else came up with this. A certain analyst in the YouTube member area has been absolutely pounding the table on this. She's like, hi, I'm Toby. I live in 2050, right? I live in 5 minutes ago because I got to talk every day. So the benefit of this is that we got a big picture analyst who comes in and is like, yeah, buy in May and stay. Buy in May and stay, right? And now it's get ready. It's get in. Get in, excuse me. And I don't mind telling you, I really don't mind telling you that we were wearing cowboy hats at the low. April 24th, alt season has arrived. What comes next? Everybody was bearish. We broke out the cowboy hats at the low. You don't wear the cowboy hats at the high because then you get liquidated. You wear cowboy hats at the low. Okay? So, we do small caps. We do all kinds of stuff in there. And now I really just told you why. Your prosperity is urgent. I want you to be prosperous because you know what? AI doesn't have to be all negative. It's going to create prosperity in society before Skynet identifies himself and does whatever he does. But in the meantime, you got to make as much money as you can, get as much money in crypto as you can so that, when the time comes, you're okay. And we want to help you do that in the YouTube member area. There's no better place. And you know what? There's no other place. Like, who's doing this? Who does this kind of research? Who has 3 tiers? Who has a la carte shopping? Nobody. Nobody. Right? I mean, you know, if you go to the Patreon store, you know, we got the Solana 7 out right before this last run up higher, right? The contrarian Coinbase portfolio, the AI forecast, the most explosive setups for the next quarter. This market hasn't gone up. This biblical thing that I did, which I've already talked about. So, I mean, yeah, okay. You know, sales is a part of business, but so is getting your customers ready. And my final note is to thank all of our customers. We appreciate your business. And we definitely appreciate the guys doing chunky super chats who are already paying us. Our customers are making money. And if you don't have any money to join, I will help you as best I can on this show. But if you want premium research and you really want to print, come visit us. That is the market update for today. We will see you tomorrow.